Pajarillo, national referee. The second referee, Joy de Imus, national referee. And now let's meet the starters. First, for United Auctioneers, Army. Center from the National University, number 4, Private Ivy Perez. Middle blocker from the University of Santo Tomas, number 5, Sergeant Ging Balse. Opposite hitter from Central Philippines University, number 8, Team Captain, Sergeant Jovenin Gonzaga. Outside spiker from the National University, number 9, Private Audrey Paran. Outside spiker from Canada, number 19, Laura Condota. Middle blocker from the Far Eastern University, number 21, Private Jeanette Villarreal. Starting libero from Rizal Technological University, number 10, Sergeant Angela Nunag. The head coach for the Lady Troopers is Staff Sergeant Emilio Kung Fu Reyes. And now the starters for the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. Outside spiker from the University of Arizona, number 1, Calais Mao. Middle blocker from De La Salle University, number 2, Abby Maranyo. Outside spiker from Bradley, number 7, Team Captain, Lindsay Stalzer. Center from La Salle, number 9, Kim Fajardo. Opposite hitter also from La Salle, number 11, Kim Kiana D. Middle blocker from the National University, number 16, Ivy Laxina. Starting libero from La Salle, number 5, Don Macandili. And a head coach for F2, Benson Bokbo. This game is held under the supervision and regulation of the Kings and Amusements Board. It is Army versus F2.
Welcome to PVL Reinforced Conference live on One Sports. Take a look at the starting lineup here for United Auctioneers Army. No Honey Royce Tobino. Instead, it'll be Audrey Paran checking in. According to the coaching staff, there to just freshen up legs, Noreen.
Yeah, well, we know that it's still early on in the conference, so coaches can do that, can change things up.
Of course, here for the F2 Logistics, big story, Dawn Macandili making her return to the lineup and what arguably is the strongest 7 here for F2.
Well, that's a champion team right there. You know, if they can play as a team, you know, gel well. But the question, Paolo, really is, Dawn Macandili 100%?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge question mark.
Of course, you know, I was actually talking to a few of the coaching staff a while ago. Sabi nila the Dawn, probably around 90%. But then 90% of Dawn Macandili, magaling pa rin yun.
Yeah, I totally agree. We'll take 90% of Dawn any day.
So let's see what she can do here in her return to the lineup. F2 Logistics desperate for her. One of the teams last in terms of digging. She's going to improve on that here. Set number 1. Army to get us going here first. Thank you very much for joining us here from the Phil Sports Arena.
Well, speaking of desperation, you know, both these teams are desperate for the win because both teams are at the bottom of the standings.
Good rally here to start out. Laxina saves it. And off speed, Kim Kiana D just too short.
Yeah, she had the right thing in mind. There's a huge hole there behind the blockers. Just not enough juice there.
Of course, Army are very familiar with F2 Logistics. One of the sides here that have played them over and over again throughout the years. So there's a bit of familiarity there, especially when you take a look at some of the veterans of this Army team. As Perez here to serve once more.
Good serve.
Stalzer.
Oh. Come on.
Lindsay Stalzer. You know, she brought the hammer last time around in her debut here in this reinforced conference. And she's someone that the team missed in that first game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she was not able to pull F2 through last time around, as Ivy Laxina on the service line.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's just a hammer. I think she brought the entire toolbox today.
Oh, yeah.
But what about Dawn's perfect pass? That's what F2 actually misses.
Condota could not get that through. Kim Kiana D looking for Stalzer.
Oh. Oof.
So simple, and now 2-1 up against Army.
And what you like about Stalzer, I mean, when I covered that game, no, that F2 Choco Mucho game, you can see that she's kind of adjusting to the set. Her arms a bit low, you know, not comfortable. But now, the last 2 hits, full stretch. So that's a good sign for F2 Logistics.
This actually is the first time we've seen F2 look like the same lineup that they used to win championships with.
Yes.
So really is a treat, and it's going to be a big challenge as Army score once more to tie things up.
Well, you know, for F2, for the fans, you're hoping that they're mentally focused right now because remember, the previous conferences were a bit of a disappointment for the franchise. So now that they have Stalzer back, they're hoping, you know, to regain that the winning ways.
Kiana D just pushed that out wide. Now, Army is going to be an interesting team to see how they spread the wealth here for this particular game, considering the fact that in their first 2 games, medyo focus lang sila playing around Laura Condota here in the service line.
And that we know that cannot be. It's a team effort, and you need the locals to step up.
Maranyo couldn't get the point there. Ito naman si Stalzer ulit.
Oh.
Lindsay Stalzer, my goodness, scoring once more like she never left all those years ago. Now let's turn it over to Rain Dixon.
They may not be in the win column yet, but the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers isn't a team you can overlook. After a disappointing loss against the Chocomucho Flying Titans, F2's reinforcement, Lindsay Stalzer, had a lot to say to the media. She said that she has to have some sense of urgency and accountability, especially if they want to make it to the finals. Lindsay told me earlier that their loss against the Flying Titans served as an awakening for them, that they need to dig deep and put in the work if they want to advance in this reinforced conference. Let's get back to more volleyball action here in set 1.
Salamat Rain, Azabi Maranyo, making sure that she got that one in. And alam mo, Noreen, accountability, I think that's one of the key words there from that report, making sure that everyone owns up to their mistakes and plays up to the level that they know that they can reach.
For sure, that's key. And anything you do, you need accountability, and especially if it's a team sport, you really need, you know, to talk to your teammates and find out what's wrong.
Gonzaga off speed, not good enough. It goes Stalzer again, and Stalzer. Oh, what a save from Condota. Dawn Makandili doing what she does best. Stalzer once more.
Well, you gotta give it to Kim Fajardo. She sold that set. Abby Maranya going for that slide, and the blockers didn't know what hit them. And Stalzer had an entire court in front of her.
Take a look at that again. Absolutely sold it. 2 blockers in front, and Stalzer. All smiles now for F2.
Well, she's hoping, you know, the post-game comments, you know, would help the cause of F2.
Kim Kianadi sending that too long, giving the 3-point to United Auctioneers Army. Anong Army naman, you have to feel that once they get into a rhythm, once Gonzaga finds her rhythm as well, they do have the firepower to be competitive in majority of the games here.
Yeah, their veteran squad. I was actually surprised at that performance against Akari, although Akari played, you know, they're the better team, but Army just didn't have that level of energy the entire match.
Perez setting that up. Gonzaga blocking, slowed it down. They go to Stalzer again.
Good stop. Whoa!
And Ami Maranyo points to the ground. That's definitely a statement there. That single block doing the job.
Yeah, that's definitely for the highlight reel. If we have one-on-one, and she just stops it.
You know that Abby means business when she's stone-faced, poker-faced.
She always means business.
Straight at Dawn Makandili. Unfortunately for her, unable to save that.
Well, actually, you like that hit because it was like a body shot, and Dawn Makandili just was so surprised seeing the ball go directly at her.
Jobs Gonzaga, the veteran, the Bionic Alonga, trying to tie things up here.
Good serve.
Kalimao, off speed. Perez setting it up, looking for Paran. Maranyo.
Oh. She's feeling it right now.
Well, Maranyo says she'll do anything for this team. She did that in the first game when she was a libero. We missed her on the court in the second game, and here she is scoring early for F2.
Well, you know, again, you know what's at stake for both teams. If you want to make it to the semifinal round, you need to win this match.
Great dig there. What a save there from Abby. You see that practice as libero? But then Kale Mao missing the contact there. Army tying things up. You know, we're talking a lot about F2 logistics here, but Army keeping in pace for sure.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty close match.
Take a look at that pancake save there.
Maranyo the libero.
Net touch there. So tied up now at 7 apiece.
Well, you like what's happening with Army because you can see that F2's playing well. Not perfect, a bit of errors, but they're playing well. And we are tied.
Of course, take a look at some of the bench units here. So Joy Baron still there for F2. And of course, Tobino still on the bench for Army. Audrey Paran actually is the person who came in for her. So big shoes to fill there.
Yeah.
Ivy Perez setting that up once again, looking for Condota.
Good cover.
Perez tried to do it herself. The setup, looking for Kale Mao.
Oh!
Kale Mao sends us to our first technical timeout. F2 leading by 1. Don't go away. Welcome back to the Heart of Volleyball. You're watching the PVL Reinforced Conference. F2 Logistics and United Auctioneers Army tussling in this one, looking for their very first win. We expected a dogfight. Some people might have thought, you look at the lineups, F2 would be heavily favored, but United Auctioneers Army only trailing by 1 here very early on.
Well, you like the changes made by Coach Kung Fu, really. You can see Fajardo putting in Audrey Paran, putting in Mary Jean Balls at the start as well. So he wants to change things up.
Perez setting that up once again to Condota. And she wanted to attack that blocking again.
Yeah. Getting it through the blockers. You can see, actually, it was a great set. Blockers were there, but just enough power to get it through.
All tied up at 8-all. As Villarreal standing on the service line for this one.
Good pass.
A bit mistimed there, and it looks like there was a bit of a net touch there from Laxina. So United Auctioneers Army take the lead.
What do you think about it here in the first set, though? F2's playing well.
Yeah.
Army's playing solid, but F2 just too many errors. You know, net errors, hitting errors. So that's what's plaguing them right now, which is good for Army because you want to keep it close.
Well, they're not just keeping it close. They do have the lead
They
here.
have the lead, correct.
Kale Mao dunked that in and tied up at 9 apiece.
Yeah, just a smart off speed at the center of Army's defense. So smart. Look at this.
No, we actually associate her with power, but then, you know, she can mix things up.
Yeah. She's a smart player. That's why she plays around the globe. You know, she's not just Philippine volleyball.
Condota.
Ooh.
And a fortunate save there, to say the least. Kim Kennedy.
Finally, I mean, that should boost her confidence. Kim Kennedy not yet getting her rhythm here in this match.
Take a look at this again. Don Macandini. Great pass as Kim Kennedy actually had a touch from the block and too much to handle. Too hot.
Too hot. Exactly. Whoa!
And ace there, Kalemao. It just dipped in the right time, in the right place, and di nakuha ni Balse.
The fans probably held their breath. Is it going in? Is it going in? Look at this.
Actually, a bit of a miscommunication there if you look at it from that angle.
Yeah, yeah.
But then sends that all the way back. Service air there coming from Calais.
Oh, and she served it first short, really short, and now really long. So again, another error on F2 Logistics.
Well, again, if you're Army, you're going to try and take advantage of all of this.
Yep.
Perez on the service line.
Yeah, which means a full front row for Army. This one take advantage.
Can they, though? That is the question.
Oh.
Setting up Salter again.
Good stop.
Now it's Condada's turn. Don Macandili, great pass. Kim Kianadi. Well, KKD, you know, once she gets in that rhythm, she is tough to stop. As we take a look at it one more time.
Yeah, you know, it's not the best of hits. We can see, you know, just enough top spin to get it through. But at least for her fans and for F2, you know that she's trying to make up for her, you know, a slow start here in this match.
Of course, KKD only had 8 points last time around, already up to 2. Perez with the setup for Condota again. Great block by Stalzer.
Oh, still alive.
KKD once more. Gonzaga.
Oh, still alive.
We have quite a rally here as Kim Kianadi couldn't end it. Can they save it? How about Army? Gonzaga sends it free. Stalzer.
Oh, that's a good one.
That was a very good one. As this is Stalzer says, let's end this. Now up by 3 after an extended rally. Lindsay Stalzer got a touch from a blocker, and it fell right in the middle. Quick timeout. Let's listen in.
Anyway, we have good defense. Ang problema natin, wala tayong counter-attack. Nasasayang yung mga spiker natin kasi hindi na-address yung bola ng maayos. Kung wala out of system, back row, fight, di ba? Ang problema, unstable yung atake natin kasi nga wala sa tamang forma yung mga spiker natin kasi depende sa pagdadagdag ng bola.
Okay, tulong lang. Tulong lang, hustle.
One good pass, back to yung out of system, we have a system there. Okay? Go for outside.
Coach Kung Fu saying he's happy with the defense, but then still a lot more to work on.
You can see some of the players of F2 Logistics in Demzon. Yeah, the reserves of F2 Logistics, at least here at the sport. So anyway, yeah, they can defend. Their defense is working. It's converting into offense. That's the problem. That's why coach is just reminding them of the options that they have.
Number 2 digging team in the league so far is this Army team. Of course, on the opposite, second to the last is actually, oh my goodness, I am sorry. Forget my point first. As F2 Logistics go 4-0 up.
But you can see Lei Mao in this match also very comfortable, very relaxed as she goes for the hits. You know, it's not too tense, which is a good sign for F2.
Rather, that was a 14-10 lead, rather, as I feel Laksina back on the service line. And if you're an F2 fan, you have to hope that the errors, the unforced errors especially, won't be something that will bite them in the back.
Yeah, for sure. Well, at least they're still comfortably ahead. When we say 3 points, that's pretty comfortable in this set.
Relatively speaking.
Yes.
Kalemao. Gonzaga. Got it off speed, and Jo Gonzaga doing what she does best, getting on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's vintage Jovelyn Gonzaga for you, playing it smart, you know, reading the defense of your opponents.
One more look at that here. And no one in white and yellow around that area.
Oh, look who's in.
Royce Tubino, who, well, admittedly, Noreen, when we were looking at the starting lineup, we were wondering if why Tubino wasn't starting. And to the credit of Audrey Paran, she did have a good start here.
Audrey Paran is always producing, you know, precious points.
As in, Stalzer scores once more.
Well, Paulo, her target is 26 points. That's what she scored the last game. So that's her target for today.
Yeah.
She looks like she's well on her way.
Right now at 6 points, talking about the Salsa production.
20 more to go.
Yeah. I like how you set that up, how you set up a goal for her here.
26 is a lot of points, and if she can surpass that, wow.
Oh, and what a hit coming from Army.
That's why she's there. When we talk about Army, we normally associate them with veterans, right?
Yeah.
So Balse, that's why they're there. They're fighters. That's what you need.
Of course, Ging Balse, you know that she brings so much power into this team.
Ooh.
And almost an ace. But then what a save there. Don Macandili sends it the other way. Free ball here for Army to deal with. Gonzaga.
Ooh.
And the save still there. And Balse, unfortunately, knocking that off herself. So 16-13. F2 with the lead. We'll be right back. You're watching PVL. Welcome back to the heart of volleyball as the fans are in it to win it. The F2 fans here in full voice and very happy with what they're seeing here so far in Noreen. Siyempre dito, we're now seeing, it feels like we're going back in a time machine.
Yeah.
Back when F2 were at full force, when they were a force to deal with. With all due respect to what they showed last time around, they were here in the PVL. It was a relatively makeshift lineup. A lot of key pieces were not there. Health was not in their side. But here we are now seeing what our idea actually is of F2.
I totally agree. But, it really changes things when you don't have your starters there. I mean, the other players will do the best they can, but it's really the chemistry that's going to be different. But now that they're at full force, you're right. They look like that F2 from years back.
Salzer with the serve. Monte Perez. And sneaking that one to stage and Ed Villarreal.
I love that set to Villarreal because you need to change things up there. Everyone's expecting to go to Tobino, right? Or to Condota. No, I'm going to go to one of my locals, one of my buddies.
At alam mo, they all can score. You look up and down this Army lineup, they all have points in them. Ito naman si Gonzaga with the serve.
Oh!
Kim Fajardo doing it. As Fajardo, we've seen that throughout throughout the career, and it's something that they would need more of here if F2 want to get far.
Yeah, in that game against Chocomucho, I think she had 5 or 6 points, as a setter. So she is an option, an offensive threat as well. Ooh.
Just in the net there, Villarreal a bit too low. So still the lead here after logistics.
Yeah, I mean, for Army, you've been doing well in minimizing your error here in the first set. It's not time when you're down 4 or 5 to start committing these errors, so you have to settle down.
Changabi with the serve. Perez looking for Tobino, and Tobino, you see, that was what we expected from Tobino, what we know that Tobino could do, and the reason why you and I were looking for her in the starting lineup. Ito, panoorin natin ito.
Yeah, I mean, Tobino really, before, years back, she was the #1 option, 1 or 2 with Jovelyn Gonzaga. So when we didn't see her in the starting lineup, like, come on! Like that.
Speaking about come on, Calais Mao extending the lead to 5.
I told you, she's looking good out there. She's looking comfortable.
I know, if you're an F2 fan, you're hoping na the first 2 games is a bit of rust. They haven't played competitive volleyball in a while. Siyempre, iba yung practice.
Yeah.
And, being thrust into this type of competition is always going to be difficult. Esquimpardo on the service line.
Great
Perez
serve.
setting that up. And a point will go to F2. Condota unable to get a touch from any of the blockers.
Yeah, she tried, but it happened right in front of the first referee.
21-15, timeout on the floor. Let's listen in.
Hindi nakakatake yung import natin. Ano bang mahirap dun sa pagbato ng open? Iabot mo lang naman sa kanya eh. Kanina pa yung nag-aabang, walang makuhang bola na maayos. Ay, sabi ko sa'yo, dapat ikaw pinakamatibay dyan. Naiintindihan mo, parang lumakas yung spiker mo, ikaw magpapalakas dyan. Ano mo yung sarili mo, i-compose mo lang ulit. Ha?
Okay yung mga...
Sayang yung mga natatapang ng bola. Walang kalaki na to yan.
So very specific instructions there from Coach Kung Fu Marine.
This timeout was directed to Ivy Perez and Ivy Perez alone, you know? But I love what he said. You're the one who has to be strong inside. You're the one who's going to make your spikers feel comfortable and, you know, be confident. So they need those sets to Laura Condota.
Of course, take a look at some of the bench mob here for both Army and F2. So let's see whether or not Ivy could produce more here, especially trying to activate Condota. And straight off the timeout. And the blocking was just too good, Noreen.
Well, you know, F2 already anticipated that the first option will be Laura Condota, especially if you have a good pass. So, yeah, they were there. Kim Kiana D closing the door.
And to be completely fair to Ivy, that was actually a better set.
Yeah.
Set up just wide, so a moment of respite para dito sa Auctioneers Army.
Well, now you have Ging Balse in front as well, and you're hoping a little bit of combination. You know, Ivy Perez needs to change things up and then try not to be predictable.
At Villarreal, 16 serving 22.
Good serve.
There's a Staltzer from the back. Perez looking for Condota again. Condota off speed this time. Don Macandili cleared that out, looking for Kalemao. A bit of a stretch, but she got the contact needed.
And she's showing Laura Condota, this is the way to get a check off the blockers. You guide the ball to the hand and then swipe it out.
Take a look, Calais. Clearly enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Perez, Condota ulit. Blocking slowed that down. Who did it go to? Kim Kiana D. Perez can get that through. Sina! Ivy Laxina to take a look. Some of the
Dina Wong.
Enjoying the action here as Kalemao serving for the set.
All covered up.
Okay, I had to take a quick double take there.
I didn't know.
Kalemao sends it straight to the net, extending this one. And this F2 team finally found its groove towards the end of this frame.
Well, again,
they cleaned up their errors in particular, Noreen.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, they're looking good here in this match, but plagued by errors.
Ooh, and Kim Kiana D with a little tap, a little nudge. And F2 Logistics takes the first frame, 25-17. Take a look at this here.
Great set, you know, it's great ball distribution here in the first set.
And right now, F2 leading 1-0. When we return, set number 2, don't go away. Welcome back. You're watching PVL, the heart of volleyball, 25-17 in favor of the F2 Logistics after the first frame. Noreen, there were a few errors to be cleaned up. There were actually quite a lot sa simula para sa F2. But then once they found the rhythm, Army really couldn't do anything to stop them.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's say it. You know, for the F2 Logistics fans, you must be happy because this is a team that you're so accustomed to watching and cheering. They played well. Kim Fajardo at the heart of that great ball distribution, getting everyone involved. Let's shift our focus on Army. Their biggest problem really is what Coach Kung Fu mentioned in their huddle. They cannot convert. You know, their defense is working, but they cannot convert. So they need to, go more to combination play. Try to fool the blockers of F2 and try to win this second set.
Well, taking a look at the stats in just a while here. So take a look at that. Attack points there, 19 para sa F2. Really dominating in that category.
My goodness. 19-7. Those are crazy numbers. Blocking and aces by 1, but that's already 3 points for you. Apart from the attacks and opponents' errors, we did mention too many errors for F2, 9 as compared to 3. So again, when you talk about Army, it's a pretty decent set in a sense that you only committed 3 errors. So you minimize your errors. Right now, you have to focus on your offense. Defense is working. Offense has to be your next priority.
So tignan natin kung may sagot ang United Auctioneers Army here, at especially offensively. Let's take a look at Lindsay Seltzer and the rest of F2 feeling good after that first frame. Ito naman Army. You know, we talk a bit about their offense, or their lack of it rather, last in terms of spiking. Itong United Auctioneers Army only with a success rate of around 26%. I'm actually rounding up there. So totoo lang is 25.43% to be exact. So really a lot to do here. Contrast that against F2, that's a 33.23% success rate in terms of spiking. So really, it's night and day, offensively speaking.
Yeah. So what Army also has to do, because you mentioned it earlier in the first set, when you look at the players of Army, everyone's a threat.
Yeah.
You have Tobino, Gonzaga, Villarreal, then you have Laura Condota. How come we're not feeling it? How come they just scored 7 points of attacks in the first set? Ivy Perez needs to distribute the ball and try to free up Laura Condota, and then get her involved in the game and, get her rhythm in this match.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to set number 2 here of the PVL, the heart of volleyball, Reinforced Conference. It's F2 to get us going here. So ang tanong natin ngayon, will Army have that offensive boost here? It's a question, getting Laura Condota more active, or do the others need to step up as well to free up Laura Condota? Because right now they're playing a lot around the reinforcement, but she needs help too.
Yeah, she does. But we have to give it to F2. I mean, they've been defending very well.
They go to Condota again. 2 blockers, that's good enough so far. Perez does it herself.
There you go. Ivy Perez is an attacking center as well, like Kim Fajardo, and she should go to that so that, the blockers will think every time she goes up when she's in front, she is also a threat.
Med Villarreal on the service line para sa Army. And again, if you're Army, you want to get F2 at this time when they're adjusting again. Kasi syempre, this is the first time they were held in a very long time. You never know if there's going to be a bit of adjustment period there as they go 2-0 up here off the error of F2.
Yeah, I totally agree because, F2 Logistics, like we mentioned, has a tendency to commit errors. So right now, if Army starts out strong, and catch F2 by surprise, you never know. You can actually get the momentum on your side.
Of course, Dama Candili on your screen a while ago. Great to see her healthy again. Syempre, undisclosed injury. Saw her miss the first 2 games. According to coaching staff, around 90% na po si Don Macandili. From the back, Stalzer.
What we didn't mention also is F2 Logistics is so used to Don Macandili manning the back, meaning getting everything. So without that, it's like, syempre, they're at a loss. You have good defenders. Aragalang, Abby Marani tried, but it's different if you have a Don Macandili there. Game changer.
Definitely. From having one of the best liberos in the region, actually, to suddenly having to struggle for one, it's always going to be very difficult. As Laksina puts F2 on the board here in the second frame.
Great one-handed set there. Actually, the pass wasn't the perfect pass, but then Kim Fajardo being her old self as well. Look at that stretch. Ivy Laksina gets that.
2 points already for Ivy Laksina here. Kalemao with her dipping serve. Looking for Condota once more. Laxina with the block. Stalzer.
Oh,
Napakasimple. Lindsay Stalzer finds the angle. Take a look at that once more.
she loves her angle. I mean, why not keep going there because the blockers haven't adjusted. So she's doing her comfortable hitting. Now, later on, when she gets stopped, she'll go down the line.
Perez setting up Condota again, and Laxina and Kim Kiana D together. There has been a matchup that we would take over and over again, and that time the blocking getting the point.
Blockers working wonders, you know. I mean, they've been establishing their blocks, getting squared, and now... Oh, good.
And Gagata is there also supporting yung mga atin nila dito. What a save there. We missed that. But the blocking. What F2 could do, Army could do too.
That's King Bounce. Can never counter out.
Take a look at that save first. Don Macandini. She looks healthy. But then that looks great too. Gin Balse with the block, keeping Army up 1. Perez with the serve.
Oh,
Stalzer.
overpass.
Don Macandini with that one. Now it's Stalzer again. Looking for a touch, but the point will go Army's way. Stalzer is free.
F2's asking for that touch, but it looked like it flipped the net, kind of dribbled
Yeah.
through the net.
I'll be trying to listen into that conversation, which sounded polite.
Well, the first ref will not have it.
Oh, yeah.
Case closed.
So 2-point lead here by the United Auctioneers Army. F2 Logistics. Can't let them go through us. What a great serve that was. And Stalzer! No question about that one.
Well, she changed her angle. You know, it's not the tough cross. She just went cross, but that's the acute angle. Same result.
You know, that's better. Don't need to have a conversation to argue that point. Ivy Laxina, her first year here for F2. Serving.
Better serve for Ivy.
Perez setting that up. Condota. Off speed. And Kim Pianadi couldn't get to it as we have this one from Rain Tixon.
Did you know the United Auctioneers Army played in another league while the PVL Reinforced Conference was ongoing? Yes, the Lady Troopers attended the AFP PNP Olympics that recently concluded. The match lasted for 2 weeks and had their final game on Friday before their match against the Akari Power Chargers. Now the team is re-energized and looking for their first win of the conference. Will Army get that victory today? Let's take a look as we return to set 2.
Salamat Rain as Army up 6-5, but then give a point back. At alam mo yung AFP Olympics na yun, I can tell you right now, it's war. Between all of
War
them.
games.
Oh, I mean, like, you watch all of the sports actually throughout the Olympics there. It's really incredible competitions. Don Macandini, what a save. Good blocking there from Army. Kalimao from the back.
Oh, good dig.
Gonzaga.
Oh!
Well, Gonzaga, the wily vet, saw the two blockers and changed the angle to a place where not even Don Macandini could reach.
Yeah, you have to see that again. Look at that. You're right, not even Don Macandili. So smart.
King Balse, again, 09, a conference MVP. Stalzer.
Exclamation point right there.
Lindsay Stalzer pulling F2 within 1. You know, she's seen it all. She's won it so many times with F2. She wants another.
She doesn't seem like she's 38. It's like she's 24 or something.
I do
Right?
not, you know, I've forgotten what her age is because I know it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
It doesn't matter. In the way that she performed as Kalimao. Once again, too hot to handle.
You know, what Stalzer's doing right now really is so infectious. Everyone is trying to follow suit, which is her task really here in this game.
You know, she wanted accountability. She said that she was heartbroken. And right now, you're seeing an F2 team that's trying to find their form once again. Gonzaga, whistle blown, net touch there. Abi Maranyo says that, yeah, it was me. Kalimao says, no, it wasn't me. But there, take a look at this here. I think we're going to see it clearly. And yeah, Abi Maranyo there with the touch on the way up. So, we go to a quick break here for technical timeout. Don't go away. You're watching the PVL, the United Auctioneers Army up by 1 here against the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers as we take a resume action from the first technical timeout. Errors again, Maureen, a bit of the problem here for F2. Abi Maranyo, ooh, what a hit, but what a save.
No, well, for me, we got to give it to Army. They're playing a lot better here in the second set. Oh!
And Perez taking matters in her own hands. At alam mo, Doreen, there was a timeout specifically for Perez saying that she was not activating the reinforcement enough. But then I don't think that they'd mind this either way too.
She took matters into her own hands. Why not? That's, I think, 2 for 2 for Ivy Perez.
9-7, up by 2. Jobs Gonzaga with the serve. Kalimao!
Perfect set there by Kim Fajardo.
Trims the lead to just 1 here. Take a look at that one more time. Kalimao, pow, pow, pow.
One-on-one there. And look at the shoulders of Jovelyn Gonzaga just shrug. Like, oh, come on.
Perez.
Oh!
Oh, and that just snuck in. Good save there from Staltzer. As she goes on the attack.
Oh, good dig.
Extended rally here as Kalimao. The blocking does its job for Army. Who did they set up? Laksina.
Still alive.
Staltzer. Who did they look for? Mao again. Push that across. Condota.
Whoa!
Ivy Laksina. Both hands up. As solid as can be.
Ooh, and look at Lei Mao. She's limping to the bench.
Well, let's take a look at this here first.
Yeah.
As Lubino only found the hands of Laksina. As right now, as you mentioned, off camera, Kalimao started limping off and now being treated here.
But I was trying to read her lips and it's like cramps. That's what I saw.
So let's see. Hopefully it's as minor as that. But at the moment, Zihar Basho checks in here for F2.
But I like what you did. I give credit where credit is due. Great block by Ivy Laksina.
Meeting at the net there, still alive. Who did they look for here? Zihar Basho. Rubino still blocking again.
A good cover. Oh!
And Laksina couldn't do anything as Villarreal just hammered that to her midsection.
But you like the ball distribution right now of Army, right? Ivy Perez giving it, activating the middles as well, so Villarreal gets it through the blockers. And Ivy Laksina has been blocking well.
So 1 point lead here for United Auctioneers Army. Stubino on the service line. Zihar Basho goes at it again. Can I just say, bilang Sangasaliano, seeing Zihar Basho playing for F2 is always a treat.
Well, can we say, Welcome to the reinforced conference of the PVL Zihirvasho. I think that's her first point of the conference.
Perez with the setup. Rubino. And Don Macandini couldn't do anything to save that. Almost ran into Salsa.
Yeah, miscue there. I mean, that should have been easy for Don Macandini.
One more look at that as Rubino actually had a touch from a block and hitting Don later on. So 1 point lead here for Army. Much improved second frame here para sa United Auctioneers.
Yeah, so much better. I mean, you like the flow of their offense, which is what Coach Kung Fu was saying.
Kim Kiana D.
Flow in the offense, question mark. F2's got it too.
Well, you know, if you're going to talk about offense, you got to talk about what F2 could do. Take a look at this. As Kim Kiana D starting to score well here in this game in particular.
Yeah. And again, better set. I mean, that's a great set by Kim Fajardo. Really just a blocker.
And they were convinced that was an ace there. Zihirvasho as well, but then the referee's not having it. Just a bit too long. Nakakiti na lang yung coaching staff ng F2.
Yeah.
Katabi namin so I can tell you that.
No, and everyone on court for F2 was like complaining that, like you said, they felt it was good.
Yeah. Abby Perez. Great game here so far. Actually, great second frame.
Yeah. Listening to Coach Kung Fu.
Scoring very well here. Zihirvasho sending that free. Perez with the setup. Mondota. Good blocking and slow that down. Who do they set up? Salzer once more. Off speed. Mondota again. Facing two blockers. Macandini. What a save. Laxina just taps that across. Gonzaga. Still alive here as Condota. Stop by the blocking Laxina. She's been having a party of her own.
He's been having a field day at the net. No, but what you like is she's reading her opponents. She's squaring up really well. Look at her hands outstretched over the net. So that's classic blocking for you.
3 points already for Laxina. Viviana Wong, you know, there again, nakatago yun. We had a hard time identifying who that was. Perez with the setup again. Valse. Stalzer.
Ooh!
Lindsay Stalzer. With power we've seen throughout the years here in the local volleyball scene. And now, all of a sudden, F2 have the lead.
I mean, you have to give it to the digging of Ivy Laxina, but Lindsay Stalzer not... This one was just placement.
Yeah.
You know, just deep enough power, but it's just a smart hitter for you.
4 points, 2 attacks and 2 blocks for Ivy Laxina.
Good serve.
Perez with the setup.
Oh!
What a save there from Laxina. As he sent this free. Army. Who did they turn to? Gonzaga. Stalzer now.
Oh! Say something.
What words do we have? What words do we have for shots like that?
Boy, she can do no wrong at this juncture, really.
Take a look at that. The angle was perfect there. Job could not do much. Laxina on the service line again.
I mean, it was a tough angle, but there was so much power in that as well.
It comes up with a pop.
Yeah.
And speaking of pop, Fajardo couldn't save that. Just landing behind Zihirvasho.
Good effort though by Z, trying to stand up after she hit the ground. Yeah, but this is a great set by Ivy Perez to Tobino from the pipe. They need to get her points.
Condota. Looking for Stalzer again. Stalzer!
Better dig.
They're defending there, coming from Army. Sending that free. Who did they turn to here? Macandini with the pass. Kim Kiana D. Now it's Gonzaga's turn. Gonzaga overcooked it.
Yeah, I don't think a blocker got a hand at that.
Just trying to reach a finger or anything.
Or anything. Yeah, they said opportunity for Army.
KKG on the service line, 2 point lead for F2. And what has been arguably the best set that we've seen so far from Army in this contest.
Oh,
And what an answer there coming from Jovelyn Gonzaga.
yeah, making up for that previous hitting error. That's what she has to do.
Kanina, we were talking about how ageless Lindsay Salzer is, but what about Jovelyn Gonzaga? Casilag is going to check in here for Kim Kiana D. After watching her replay, she's heading to the bench.
Now, you know, one thing that I noticed with Elaine Casilag is her defense. I mean, she's improved on that, and we saw it in that last match against Chocomucho.
Abby Maranyo. Now Perez looking for Gonzaga again. Macandili setting this up.
To Fajardo!
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? 16-14, second technical timeout, and with the lead, courtesy of this hit, Macandili to Fajardo. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're watching the PVL. F2 up by 2 here so far against the United Auctioneers Army. Coming back strong here. Remember, Kalei Mao had to limp off this a while ago with what looked like cramps and still not there. And of course, that's Naja Bingo Plus, the first live streaming bingo in the Philippines. Say Stalzer with the serve. Almost an ace there.
Yep.
Barely saved.
Whoa!
Solenada to Maranyo. But then, unfortunately for her, point goes to Army.
She went for too much line there. Totally missed that.
Few changes here. Bunag and Gonzalez coming in for Army. Although Gonzaga and Ivy Perez will check out.
I think it's a great substitution. I mean, Army's playing a lot better. Like we said, no, here in the second set, they're just down by 1. You put in another veteran in Joan Bunag, who has defied age as well.
Yeah. Jane Gonzalez on the service line for her first contribution in today's contest. And Salzer just watched that skew just wide. And you know, I always have sympathy for those just put in to serve. And Ray Dixon has his report.
Kalei Mao is currently sidelined due to cramps on her right leg. F2 Logistics' cargo team staff is working on her condition and is hoping to get her back on the floor at any moment. There's nothing to worry about as she is still suited up for the cargo movers. Now back to the panel.
Salamat, Rain. And great here, just cramps there. But then, of course, an ace there from F2 Logistics as we take a look at Kalei Mao. Let's sit into the timeout, though.
Naitulong natin sa loob. Naitulong. Sayang ho, tulad yan. Isang error, susunod ulit yung pangalawang error. Nangyari na tayo. Anyway, one good pass, ready. But you are the target. So every time be ready. Jelly, kung kaya agawin, kuha ng bola. Set up ng play, tapos spider mo.
I don't think we can get any clearer than that, Nori. Sino nga ba ang target ng Army?
The truth hurts. All we can say, the truth hurts. Laura Condota, you are the target.
Yes, sir.
But be ready. I mean,
Be ready, for sure.
yeah, so you like he was frank about it, he was direct, but then he was encouraging, just be ready.
Maranyo, 4 points, 2 attacks, a block and an ace. All-around performance here for Chang. As making sure that the mop men have everything cleared. So
Yeah.
that was the reason for that wait. She wasn't just taking her time. Serve there from Maranyo. Nunag, send that up. Unag.
Oh!
And that is Tolenada. getting in on the action as well. Again, so much talent on this F2 team.
Stat one.
Yep. Take a look at that. So just a touch there, slowed that down. And Tolenada doing it herself.
Yeah, but you like the way Stalzer actually kept that ball alive. Bunag targeting the high hands, but still they'll keep that ball alive.
Joe Gonzaga back in this one. Abby Maranyo trying to make this a 5-point lead. Four-point lead now for F2 19 serving 15.
Yeah, good serve.
Perez found the gap there. No one ready for it. Again, Perez has been scoring so well here.
I think he's 3 for 3 if I'm not mistaken.
Let's take a look at that again. So F2 really did get set up, and there it was, the donut hole.
No, you know why she sold it? Because she usually goes for the spike, but this time she used the setting.
Yeah. Laxina. Now Perez looking for Condota. And again, Laxina, a bit of a solo block party here.
Yeah, she's gotten Condota's number. But really, for Army, you have to cover at all costs. You cannot allow the balls to drop because you need to give Condota the confidence to keep swinging away. So by doing so, you have to cover.
Tolenada with the serve. Perez, who does she look for here? The back row. And Tubino just hit that right at the net.
Well, obviously, F2 Logistics rolling over Army here towards the end of the second set.
You know, the frustrating thing about Army, if you're Coach Kung Fu, is that you know that the defense is actually quite okay. It's just scoring has been an issue for this team.
Yeah. We saw a lot of blocks on Condota.
Yeah. Laxina. Perez. Tolenada setting up Zihar Basho. Don Macandini couldn't save it.
But I'm looking at Z. She was looking at the line, still looking at the line. I think she thought it might have gone out.
Okay, let's take a look at that one more time. And Z, first of all, great blocking there.
I know.
No, it would have been in for sure.
Yeah.
Ivy Perez, credit her. I believe she was the one with the block.
Yes.
Again, Ivy Perez has been doing everything, scoring in different ways, setting everyone up. As Net Villarreal on the service line once more, 17 serving 21. Tolenada with a setup to Stalzer. Straight at the net, at the tape. And Army, don't look now, within touching distance here.
Yeah, 2 straight points. I think the set was too low for Stalzer there.
For Svensson, Bokbok asking for a quick timeout. Trying to sort out the F2 Logistics. Let's try and listen in.
Okay, so how many spikers in front? 3. Okay, utilize them. Ivy, wag ka masyado dito kasi papasa si naiipit siya dito. Lakyan, pumunta ka dito. Tapos si Elaine dito. Dito ka lang sa gitna. Okay? Go, let's go. One pass.
Short but sweet. Alam mo, Noreen, I wish I could see the board. But what do you make of that?
Well, you know, it was clear. Coach Benson asked, how many spikers? 3. Utilize them all. So you can do this. And I think what was specific was Ivy Laxina and where she has to position herself just to move the blockers apart.
Net Villarreal on service line, 18 serving 21. Still within a shout here.
Yeah.
And the push there, I don't know if Laxina meant it, but she'll take it.
I wonder if she actually touched it.
Touched it. That's better from our angle.
Yeah.
It looked a bit like that. Zihar Basho on the service line here. As F2 looking to shut the door on Army.
But you know, no matter what happened in that previous point, you like that off a timeout.
Yeah. And undertook that time. 23-18, a bit too raw.
Yeah,
you know?
too low.
Yeah. So quick timeout, let's listen in again.
Pinaka-worst ang bato mo ng bola, hindi lumalagpas sa ibabaw ng net. Ito mga drop ball, not over pa rin. Dalawa na yung kumuha dito. Ano ba naman yung itapon mo dun sa importante sa building?
Pwedeng open niya,
Ito, kailangan mong matutunan. Saan matututunan? Ito, game. Iba yung nag-iensayo ka. Walang
Well, once again, Noreen, specific timeout here from Coach Kung Fu.
Well, it's really your mindset. If you're Ivy Perez, you take these as constructive criticism and you get better. You know, the Coach Kung Fu obviously believes in you. That's why he's guiding you.
Diarbacho on the service line again for F2 Logistics. Let's see whether or not Ivy Perez could put some height on the serve as Diarbacho. Too long.
Yeah. But her toss was actually pretty low. I mean, than what we're used to. Yeah.
Ivy Perez on the service line here.
Well, then that means a full front row for Army. This is when you want to chase.
Stalzer. You were talking about the full front row. It doesn't matter to her.
You know, I heard the fans of F2 shriek as soon as the ball got in the air for Stalzer, and why not? You're right. I mean, the blockers were far apart.
Ivy Laxina here to serve for the set. 24-19. Ivy, good game here so far for her individually, but as a team, getting the job done here against what has been a relatively stubborn Army team.
Yeah, but F2 is doing a good job in fighting them off.
Stalzer off speed. Bit hard for her to reach. Diarbacho trying to save that. And Stalzer, once again, unfortunately, unable to get that through. So, just a 4-point lead here for F2. Still on set point, though. Don Makadili back in the game.
Yeah, well, it's a 4-point game, like you said. Army's not out of it, but you've got to serve and serve tough.
Ondota. Service line here. Colinada setting up Maranyo. Perez looking for Gonzaga.
Oh! One set point save.
So right now, Army still has to continue staying perfect here. And F2 called for tie. Let's have a listen.
Front, Abby, of course, she will get one block. Okay? Definitely, you give it to her, game is finished.
Hey, the reporter before the game says, hey, you guys have a problem, seem to have a problem closing out games. Let's disprove that point right here, right now. Here we go. Yes, F2!
So trying to address a perennial problem for the F2 Logistics cargo movers, how to close out games. And you can ask any athlete in any sport, shutting the door is going to be the hardest thing to do. And F2 are trying to do that right here. Coach Benson kanina, narinig mo rin. If you do this, the game's over. Yeah.
Yeah, game over.
Stalzer. And the blocking does its job. Stalzer with the block. May have been on Maranyo, but either way, 2-0 lead here, courtesy of this finish. And right now, it looks like Stalzer will be the one given credit. So when we return, we'll try and take a dig deep into that as F2 now up 2-0. Welcome back. You're watching the PVL. the reinforced conference. Welcome back to the heart of volleyball. And speaking of the heart, F2's heart's definitely beating here. Sabi ni Lindsay Salter, they were heartbroken with the results in the past, but they're looking really good here. Take a look at some of the highlights from set number 2. Noreen, what did you see?
Well, they took obviously from the first set. You know, the momentum that they had, they just continued to roll over. But not a challenge by Army. We have to give it to Army. Army played a pretty good second set. You know, you saw ball distribution there. But for F2, when they started blocking, really that's what spelled the difference. They started stopping the offense of Army, and they never looked back. Everybody contributing. I mean, even Tolanada off the bench. But you love the defense of F2 Logistics there in that second set.
And of course, one of the bigger developments here for F2 is that Kalei Mao suffered a bit of cramp according to our ratings on just a while ago. Still on the bench right now as we take a look at some of the stats here in that set number 2. 32 minutes, quite long there. You take a look at the numbers. What impresses you, Noreen?
Well, remember we talked about the attacking in the first set. That was like 19 as compared to 7. Better attacking for Army there, 10 and 14. Blocking, we talked about the blocking of F2, 5-2. F2 still plagued by a lot of errors, committing 9 and 5 for Army. Overall, for me, Army, it was a good set.
Yeah.
But one thing they have to adjust coming into the third set is their coverage. Blocking, anticipate that blocking will work for F2, so you've got to cover. You've got to man the floor.
So Ivy Laxina, we have to give her credit because the 5 blocks there for F2 in set number 2, a lot of them are actually courtesy of Ivy Laxina, who now leads this team in terms of block scoring. She has 3 already up on her number. And of course, Job Gonzaga and the rest of the United Auctioneers Army, they were actually in the lead midway through the first frame. So let's see whether or not they can, 1, take the lead again, and 2, be a bit more sustained in the way that they perform here in set number 3. But of course, F2 looking to end this one early.
Yeah, they want that momentum going to their next games, next matches by finishing this in 3. But what about, you talked about Ivy Laxina. She had the tough job of actually stopping Laura Condota. Right now, the challenge, we pose the challenge to Laura Condota. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
You got blockers in front of you. You got to be creative.
Royce Tubino serve here for Army, and for those wondering, why were there a bit of cheers earlier on, right before this frame? It's because Ara Galang checking in here for F2.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's not a libero. Let's clear that.
Not as a libero. I think that's great. Again, Kalei Mao there on the bench. She has her shoes on. Well, no, a while ago she had her shoes on. It's back on. But a while ago, they were tending to her left calf, if I'm not mistaken, for a case of cramps. Has yet to see action since going out.
Well, if you don't have to use her, you know, why use her? Because as athletes, you know, once you have the cramp, it's hard to get back into the game. No matter how you ice it, right? And if Ara Galang can have her moments right now here in the third set, why not?
You know, and I'm sure Kalei is really frustrated. And nag-cramp siya sa second set.
She's been playing well.
Yeah, she's been playing really well. So a bit of frustration there. Army trying to look for the lead here. Villarreal with the serve. Stalzer once more. Again, just a reminder, she has that power, that pop, that pep in her step, and Stalzer with a man.
Well, you have to give it to Abby Marano. She sold that quick and only a one-on-one on Stalzer. And like what's been happening, she's been having a field day.
Kim Kiana D. Serve. On the back, Tubino. Having to save that a bit here. Ball set free. Gonzalez looking for Condota.
Good dig.
Marano sending that free again. Gonzalez trying to fool Don Macandili, not having it. And Stalzer off speed that time. Again, scores in a variety of ways. Just outwitting Army.
Yeah, adjusting to the set, you're right. But you know what, for me, wasted opportunity for Army because had you trusted your coverage, you know, Joe Gonzaga is actually on her way.
KKD with the serve. Gonzalez. Not that time. Marano. Undertook that a bit. They didn't get her time right.
Yeah, she's trying to hop, skip, and jump, but still couldn't get that through.
So let's see what Army could do here, because F2 obviously wanted to get off to a strong start here in the third frame and end it early. And Tobino could not control that, and what an effort there from Army, but unfortunately for them, unable to save that one. Take a look at the CEO of the F2 Logistics, Sir Efren Uy, and the rest of the clan. Of course, here to support and see F2 in action.
Yeah.
Sir Efren Uy, thank you very much for coming on over and enjoying everything here.
And must be enjoying themselves.
Oh yeah, for sure. Great performance here from F2 so far. Gonzaga tried to angle that, but pwede ko bang sabihin, almost hitting us instead.
You were the target, Pao.
I was the target. Tanya, welcome to the PVL.
Yeah.
Salter with the serve. Condota. Great reception there. Now on the attack.
Finally, we have to say that finally. And again, she was in the opposite side. So that could be an option for Army.
Take a look at that again. First of all, great setup. Easier for her to really get all the power behind it. Salter in the back row. Gonzaga with the setup. Tobino. Slowed down by the block of Maranyo. Galang.
Good dig.
Good dig there from D. Makandidi sending up Stalzer from the back. Still nothing. Oh, and what a save there. Tobino just sends that the other way. Galang. Off speed. And they score. And to be honest here, that was the loudest cheer we've heard from a point as Galang gets on the board.
Well, her fans obviously missed her, and that's her first point of the conference. So we see first contributions first by Zir Basho, now by Ana Galang.
And just look at the smiles there. You can see what it means. Maranyo with the serve. Gonzalez with the setup now. Gonzaga off speed. Laksina got a touch to it. Galang. Gonzalez. Condota. Just a bit too long.
Yeah, overcooked that. Wasted opportunity again for Army.
Good idea, but unfortunately for Condota, unable to sneak that one in as Maranyo back on the service line here with so many colorful accessories.
Whoa!
Just trickles back in. And looking for a check ball, not having it as Esquerra left wanting. So we go into the first technical timeout with F2 dominating here, 8-3. We'll be right back, don't go away. Welcome back. You're watching Premier Volleyball League Reinforced Conference 2022. Kanina, tinanong namin sa hashtag PVL Ask. Actually, Gemma Galanza asked, who will score more points, Jovelyn Gonzaga or KKD? Sa hashtag PVL Reinforced 2022. Ito yung mga sagot ninyo. Paul of Topol says Jovelyn Gonzaga because she can do more for her team to get their first win. Interesting there, coming from Paul. And ito naman si third, si from Treslem. And simple lang, KKD. Yan yung sinabi niya. No other explanation required as Army pull one back. Ito naman si Divine Grace Guerrero. Ito, not just a one-word answer. To answer the question, my idol, Gemma Galanza, for me, I think it's Jovelyn Gonzaga.
Why?
I wonder why. Oh, we need at least defense here. Ito naman si Maring Katniss. Taray naman may pajema ask. Feeling niya si KKD. And yes, we're adding on to PVL Ask with things like that. And of course, there, unfortunately, for Army, unable to steal the point there as F2 now up with the lead 9-4. At alam mo, Noreen, kanina pinag-usapan natin that it was important for Army to get out strong here in this third frame.
Yeah.
Because F2 would want to kill the will to fight of Army here early on.
Yeah, that's true. But what about, we have to give it to Jove Gonzaga one effort to try to keep that ball alive. They just couldn't capitalize on that.
5 serving 9 now, and much needed stop there from Tobino. So, panoorin ulit natin. Tobino just avoiding Kim Kiana D.
Yeah, going down the line there.
Stalzer, good save there. Galang couldn't score.
Oh, good save.
Makandili meeting at the net, and Gonzalez got the better of KKD.
Just playing it smart, brushing off Kiana D's hands there. That's why they're there. I mean, that's why she's there. Talk about Sarah Jane Gonzalez.
Of course, Jane Gonzalez actually, coming in for si Ivy Perez, who, was subject to very specific timeouts a while ago, and here doing a good job. Kiana D, a lot of mustard on that one, but what a save from Condota. Ball set free. Who did they turn to here? Laxina!
Well, she's feeling it. Talk about Ivy Laxina doing it in all aspects of the game.
And another look here. First of all, credit the save there from Condota. And Rain Dixon has this report. Rain.
The F2 Logistics cargo movers are known for more than just their hard hitters and powerful defense. This team radiates confidence, and it comes in the form of swag. Abby Marano told me earlier that this team's character naturally comes out when they're doing well individually and when they're in sync as a unit. She said that they want to lean into their being emotional, as this forms the identity of the cargo movers. But right now, Coach Benson reminds them to focus on defense and go back to the basics when necessary. Let's see if F2 can close out the game in 3 sets. Back to the panel.
Salamat, Rain. And of course, you mentioned the word swag. That's a volleyball. You'll always will think of people like Chang Avi, as in say Stalzer. Ooh boy. Oh boy. Doing it again.
Doing it again.
12-6 right now in favor of F2, courtesy of this hit. So, quick timeout called. Let's listen in.
Okay. Ang problema kasi, sige ang tanong natin, hindi pa nga umaangat yung kabila kayo nasa taas na. Ibabaw na siya, okay, pababa na, tsaka lang siya umaangat, tsaka lang siya pumapalo sa atin. Too early tayo ba? Ilang tayo, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yun lang naman ang kailangan natin, kanina pa yung di-discuss. Yung palo niya, dun lang. Wala naman kayong ginagawa, hinihintay niyo yung kamagay ng ball.
Well, again, just based on what was being said there, Noreen just thinking about being in sync. Unfortunately for Army, not in sync here so far in this game.
Yeah, and what stood out also with what he said is he doesn't want his team to play the waiting game.
Yeah.
They have to take things, they should do something about it.
Perez.
Take matters into their own hands.
Oh, Makandili. Desperate save there. Laxina tapped that across. Tobino. Kiana D on the attack. Perez looking for Condota.
Oh!
Galang from the back. What a save there from Gonzaga. Perez sends that free the other way. Who do they look for here? They look for Stalzer. Stalzer. Body's on the floor, and it's still alive here. Whiz-boy stuff from Army. Getting that long. Stalzer puts the finishing touches. And Stalzer puts an end to what was an entertaining rally.
Well, you gotta give it to Army's defense. Their bodies sprawling all over the court, diving for it. But at the end, Stalzer just makes do with an overpass.
18 points already for Stalzer. Well, you set the goal for Stalzer, I think.
26.
But right now, I don't think they'll need the 26 points. But based on what we're seeing here so far, of course.
Well, we're just midway into the third set.
Makandili. Now Stalzer again. Perez with a setup. Don looking for KKD.
Oh!
Off the blockers, off the hands of Tobino. And KKD Putting F2 up 14-6. Nakapakot dito sa 6 points ang United Auctioneers Army.
Well, you can see Kiana D really very comfortable with that bump set from Don Makandili. That's what they missed in the last 2 games, obviously.
Perez. Galang with the save. Stalzer sends it the other way. Perez looks for Tobino again. And Tobino finishes off the blockers.
That's what they need to do, slowly but surely, try to work their way into this set. Hopefully, you know, try to keep it close. It's a 7-point game.
Take a look at that, just hammering that off the fingers, the hands of the blockers.
Yeah, actually that was a smart hit, targeting the high hands of the blockers.
Who do they look for here? KKD again, and Perez couldn't handle it.
Why not? You know, everyone, what you like with what we're seeing with F2 is everyone is ready. Everyone's ready to hit.
Take a look at this again as KKD getting that ball, and of course F2. So many pieces stepping up here in the absence of Kalei Mao, who had to return to the bench due to cramps. Right now, she's actually still on the bench with her leg elevated, for those wondering. Ivy Perez looking to set up Condota. Condota off the hands of the blockers, still alive here. Stalzer. Better defense shown by Army. Can Stalzer? She has a different angle of attack. Now it's Condota's turn.
Yeah, good rally.
KKD.
Ooh, good dig.
Perez looking for Gonzaga, the Bionic Ilonga.
Oh!
What a save from Laxina. Stalzer!
I give that point to Ivy Laxina any day.
Stalzer gives it to Laxina as well. And Laxina has the biggest smile. Let's take a look at that again. First of all, almost outsmarting the entirety of F2 except for Laxina. Look at that.
Goodness. You know, you can take a photo and make that into a poster.
Absolutely.
Right?
I hope someone did.
Yeah.
As we take a look at Stalzer's hit, send us to our second technical timeout. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're watching the PVL, the heart of volleyball. Central Logistics are going to close out the United Auctioneers Army here, now leading 16-7. Kanina, you wanted to give a point to Ivy Laxina, but don't worry, Noreen, kasi itong si Ivy Laxina 7 points already. 4 from attacks and 3 from blocks. So scoring in a variety of ways, and as we saw a while ago, saving points and earning points there for Stalzer.
And you don't see that all the time, no? Talking about Laxina's middle blocker diving for that ball and setting.
Speaking of, KKD could not get that to fall. Now they go to Condota again, talking about Army. And Laxina showing that she could do it all. Stalzer, the push and the points.
Well, speaking of who can do it all, Stalzer also really playing big today.
17-7, double-digit lead here. Ito panoorin natin ulit. Again, the defense shown by Laxina, just on point.
Yeah.
You know, not afraid. You know, despite her height, she can get to the floor really quickly.
She's, I mean, showing us a different aspect of her game. You know, she has defense.
Sino with the serve. Naman si Perez. Back row, Tobino, the push. Good save there from Galab, Stalzer. Again, Tobino doing a good job defensively. They go to their import there.
They're targeting you again.
Yeah, so a bit of silence from a radio silence from our part. Kasi Borna dumating po sa amin, but then Army scoring off that.
Well, for Army, you're hoping it's not a little too late.
And you know, if you're Army, I'm just letting you know from the commentary panel, it's okay if the ball goes our direction, if that's what you need to score also.
Yeah, exactly.
Stalzer. Just skewing that a bit wide there as Army now pulled within 9 to 17. Still a long way to go though. If Army could come up with a bit of rhythm, things could change, but still it'll take quite the effort here, Noreen.
Yeah, but you know, we've seen a lot of games, you know, they're not out of it.
Yeah.
Just string up a couple of points here, make your own rally.
Stalzer. And sometimes it's just too quick.
It's too quick. Great set. You know, you like what Fajardo did after that hitting air here. Here's another chance.
So take a look at that again, and Stalzer skying up there. Kiana D on the service line.
Good
Trying
serve.
to push to a double-digit lead here once more. Talking about F2. Condota. Oh, that was just too much.
Well, now you look at your blockers. You have Fajardo and Maranyo on you if you're Condota. If you're Ivy Perez, you gotta milk that. You know, milk that it's not Ivy Laxina manning Laura Condota.
So right now, 18 to 10. Celine Casillas will come in for Kim Kiana D. Ten serving 18 here as Army trying to mount a comeback. Stalzer.
Whoa, good dig.
A lot of power with that one, and a miscommunication there. Tubino and Perez just looking at each other and scratch of heads.
Aw. I mean, that was such a great dig.
And Coach Kung Fu, just take a look. You can see the frustration. So, kanina pinag-usapan natin yung bilis ni Stalzer, her ability to get up quickly. And, you know, thank you very much to our writer, si Mix Flores, sending us this. A reminder that she was an Illinois state champion in athletics. Kaya, her speed to get up is really, really quick. She doesn't need a lot of lift.
She has foundation.
Absolutely. And speaking about foundation, one of the foundations of the F2, getting the point. And Abby Maranyo now up 20 to 10. Army, sue for time. Let's listen in.
Ayaw, setter's ball, di ba? Sa'yo, di ka humingi ng bola. Di mo pwedeng ibigay yung second ball kasi ikaw man na magpapaganda niyan. Okay, o, isa pa. Iangat natin yung score natin. Ha, isang pasa, nasa harapan namin si Lore. Ha? Dulo-dulo lang, pero ganda mo yung pasa. Baka sakali, in case, sa gitna, abutan mo yung gitna.
UAI!
Well, Noreen, again, Army trying to find ways back. What do you make of that huddle?
Well, it's really, you know, trying to, for me, Coach Kung Fu, whatever he's saying is really to attack the character of Army. I mean, they're veterans. They've been champions in the past, so you just got to remember that. Work as a team. Remember that you're also playing for pride.
Yeah. Stalzer sends that a bit long here, and kanina I was looking over the stats, Noreen, and right now this Army team is led by Gonzaga with 6 points. Their import Condota only has 5 so far here. Tubino also trying to do her part from the bench with 5 as well, but itong si Ivy Perez, 5 points also. So really,
Matching Condota.
oh. Tubino off the blockers. Well, as we mentioned a while ago, we were wondering bakit hindi siya nag-start, talking about si Tubino, and able to get a point there.
Well, someone's excited to come in. Joy Baron for the first time in this match.
Of course, Majoy Baron adding a lot of height there to the front.
The reason I said excited because when Coach Benson called her, it's like she was
Yeah.
you know, she was running and excited.
She was giddy.
She was giddy, yes, exactly.
Perez will set up to Gonzaga. Can they save it? No, they cannot. It hit the same spot 3 times in a row.
The net refuses to give. You're not going through me now.
20 to 13. F2 a bit frustrated with the last sequence. Coach Benson calls for time here. Let's try and see if we can get an ear in.
Ara, close here. Tapos yung higher. Higher. Saan siya? Diba? This one or this one is no problem. Basta higher. Okay? Itong dalawa na to, yan yung magkakombi mo. Okay? Hindi mo paghiwalayin yan. Tapos isa yung pang highball mo. Kuha mo?
Focus in right here, okay? Here we go, last time. Here we go. Reverse.
Well, Noreen, kanina si Coach Kung Fu may specific timeouts for Ivy Perez. So that felt that was specific to Fajardo.
Yeah. Then you can see the difference, no? I mean, Coach Benson's really this play,
Yeah.
designing a play for the moment.
Let's see if they can find that here. Stalzer. Okay, maybe that did work out.
He was drawing a lot of things, but at the end, it was Stalzer.
Well, that was high enough. Actually, we heard about that. You know, the high ball being asked for. Namajoy Baron on the service line for the first time. Again, seeing her first action here. 21-13, trying to look to close this out. Sent a bit too long. And as I mentioned a while ago, always tough to see someone off the bench having to serve very soon. Coming in a bit cold.
Yeah. And she's not a serve specialist,
Yeah.
so it's a different situation altogether.
Baran on the service line once more. 14, serving 21. How many can they save?
They're hoping a lot.
Whistle blown. Baran with the serve.
Ooh.
Setting up Stalzer again.
Oh, good dig.
Great dig there from Condota. Ito naman si Gonzaga. Gonzaga. Galang. Fajardo couldn't save it. Casilla could reach it. And Army saved one more. Just a 6-point lead here. See Herbato checking in for Galang.
Well, Coach Benson giving his bench, yeah, as you can see, good blocking there. Villarreal and Gonzaga combo. But Coach Benson trying to let everyone play.
Of course, Yervasha, we know that, you know, she can score. She can score in bunches. Speaking of, sends it straight to the net. I should not compliment players, I guess, right before.
No, Villarreal saying, put in anyone you want. I'm gonna block you.
16 serving 21 here. Army doing a good job holding down F2 here.
Yeah.
Finding a bit of rhythm, finding a bit of momentum. That's Audrey Paraan on the service line once more.
You like the way Villarreal's been covering the cross courts.
Stalzer. There was a bit of a bang, a bit of a pop. And Stalzer gets them off the mark again, 22-16.
And she tells Z, I got your back. I got this.
There it is again, Stalzer.
Boy, precision for you.
Absolutely. Gonzaga saved that one. Free ball here to deal with. Who do they go to? See that?
Oh.
And you have to feel Ivy Perez, she saved that ball really well. And, you know, there was a look of frustration in her eyes that no one else could get to it.
Yeah. Well, because if you dive for the ball, you sacrifice your body, and then you see it fall because of miscommunication. That's very frustrating.
F2 trying to close this one out. Kim Fajardo, 13 excellent sets already.
Ooh, good serve.
Gonzaga. Laxina. Stalzer sending Z Herbacho up. Z.
Oh. So smart. You know, she got blocked going cross court. Just gonna roll it down the line.
Take a look at that one more time. High. And just how she likes it.
Yeah.
Dani Condota. And Z Herbacho. Now Kim Fajardo serving for the match, 24-16. How long can Army hold on? Perez.
Oh, good dig.
Z Herbacho for the match.
They only needed one. Match point.
And F2 Logistics back in business. 25-16 to sweep the United Auctioneers Army. And what a victory, and what does it mean? This is their first win since March 18, 2022.
March 18?
It's been a long time coming for F2. And Z Herbacio with the finishing touch.
Well, for me, it's really a total team effort. You know, it started from great setting also by Fajardo. But what about Stalzer? What about Laxina?
And again, 25-17, 25-21, and 25-16. We'll be back soon just to dig deeper here. Don't go away. Welcome back. You're watching PVL, the heart of volleyball, the reinforced conference, and F2 Logistics Cargo Movers back in business here when they return to a full-strength lineup, the lineup that we all remembered from years ago that won championships. Look what happened. Three-set sweep here against the United Auctioneers Army.
Yeah, no, for me, really, they just played inspired. You know, they played as a team. It was so different from their first two games, given whatever situation, you know, a depleted lineup, health issues. But today, they played as a team, and they looked really good.
Take a look at some of the highlights here, especially of certain Lindsay Stalzer. She was heartbroken the last time. Pero ngayon, 24 points, 23 attacks, a single block, and 10 excellent receptions, Noreen. It looks like her heart is full.
Yeah, her heart is full. And when I said her target is 26, that's in 4 sets. 24 in 3 sets, it's pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's more than pretty good, Noreen. I mean, being able to use those types of numbers. She really came up big in the end, of course, when F2 needed a bit more scoring pop because Kalei Mao actually exited in the second frame. And speaking of Lindsay Stalzer, she's now with our Rain Tixon. Rain, take it away.
With me right now is our player of the game, Lindsay Stalzer. First of all, congratulations on your first win. So we noticed that F2 has had a little bit of trouble closing out sets, especially in your first two games. What was your mindset coming into the match today?
Yeah, we were really hungry for a win, so we knew it was going to be a tough match, but our preparation this week was specific for Army, and I'm just so proud of my team for pulling together and pulling out a win tonight, yeah.
Yes, so for this game, you had a complete lineup, including Don Makangili. What do you think about the team's chemistry so far?
I think we're on the up and up. Like, we're still kind of fresh together playing. Yeah, people were gone and just coming back. So we're working on the chemistry, and I think it's going really well. So we're only going up from here.
So do you have any message to the fans or anybody supporting the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers?
Yes, fans, thank you so much for your continued support. I love coming back and seeing all the messages from you guys. It's so heartwarming. So thank you so much. And for my family and friends watching at home, I love you guys and miss you very much. Yeah, thanks again, F2 fans.
That was Lindsay Staltzer from F2 Cargo Movers. Back to the panel.
Thank you, Rain, and of course, thank you very much, Lindsay, for taking the time to talk to us. And that was an impressive win here for F2. And take a look at some of the highlights here from set number 3. Sabi nga ni Lindsay, we're on the up and up, only going up from here. And based on what we saw here in set number 3, they really look sharp.
Yeah, you just gotta admire their positivity, really up and up. I love that word actually, next to fixer-upper.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I mean, they look good. Talking about F2, like I said earlier, they played as a team, which is where it all starts, where it all begins. When you play as a team, you get strength from each other, then there's nowhere to go but up, and they look really good winning in straight sets.
And speaking of the word fixer-upper, gamitin natin ulit yun. This Army team does not look like a fixer-upper because we know that they have the pieces. We've seen that they have scoring punches and scoring power, but then it was not able to come out here. And maybe, perhaps, because this F2 team, as sabi nga ni Lindsay, they game plan specifically for Army. Did you see that here today as we look at the stats here from set number 3?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, the blocking working wonder, especially in that second set, no? Not near in the third, but again, out-attacking. They're able to convert their good defense into offense at out-attacking by 10. Blocking actually went Army's way by 1. Pretty decent opponents' errors, but really, F2, we have to say, look like the more inspired team. But Army, nothing to be ashamed of. I think they played well. It's just that today, F2 is the better team.
Need a bit of a push there talking about Army because we know that this team could be better and could show better. And of course, that'll do it for us for our first game. Again, 3-0 in favor of F2, their first win since March 18, 2022. But up next, we got a battle of champions. Both teams with championship pedigree. Dreamline Cool Smashers against the Petrogas Angels. That's up next. I'm Paul de Rosario alongside Norinco. Rain takes over as the courtside reporter. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next game.